Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. I am Aslima EMP, the fifth and last reporter from Group 5. My topic are about functions of government and European Union. First, we will be discussing the functions of government. So it is important to know the different functions of government in order for us to know what should government impose to our country. First function of government is preserve order. Preserve order meaning mapanatiling maayos ang ating bansa. Ang pagpapanatili ng social peace o ng kapayapaan ng lipunan ay ang pangunahing layunin ng government, or it is the fundamental purpose of government. To ensure domestic tranquility, ang isa sa layunin ng US Constitution's preamble nila. To ensure domestic tranquility is an elegant phrase to describe the government's role as society's policeman. So tinitiyak nilang may katahimikan o kapayapaan ang kanilang lugar o bansa. Ito daw ang nagde-describe ng papel o tungkulin ng gobyerno bilang policeman of the society. So we all know that social peace or kapayapaan is very important kasi dito rin nakasalalay ang kaginhawaan o ang pagkakaroon ng magandang kabuhayan o pamumuhay ng mga tao. The second function of government is defend against external enemies. Ang may pagtanggol o may defend ang mga tao, maging ang ating bansa laban sa mga kaaway na nais sumira o manggulo sa ating bansa o lipunan. An anthropologist continues to debate that whether or not ang humans daw ay likas na sa kanila or inherent na daw sa mga tao ang makipagdigma o ang digmaan or a warlike species. And I think tama nga naman kasi mula noon pa man hanggang ngayon, patuloy pa rin ang mga kaguluhan o digmaan sa ating bansa at maging sa ibang bansa na rin. In fact, a growing body of scholarship suggests that the state evolved in its present modern form because of its superior capacity for waging vis-a-vis competing forms of political organization. So one of the example nitong external enemies ay ang nuclear missiles. Ang pagdevelop o pagbuo ng nuclear weapons like the nuclear missiles in the mid-20th century ay naging dahilan naman ng conflict sa pagitan ng mga powerful states at nagiging sanhi rin ng panganib. Nang dahil sa pagpapatayo o pagbuo nila ng nuclear weapons ay maaaring maging sanhi ito ng takot sa maraming tao. So isa sa mga functions o tungkulit ng gobyerno ay ang protektahan o pangalagaan ang societies against outside aggression. The next function of government is manage economic conditions. Modern governments are expected to create the conditions for economic growth and material prosperity. Ang modern governments ay inaasahang magkaroon o makagawa ng conditions o ng paraan para sa economic growth ng bansa at magkaroon ng kaginhawaan or a material prosperity of the society or country. In United States, economic policy leaves most decisions to the private markets where individual choice, competition, and exchange are presumed to lead to a growing economy. So they presume na maging daan ito sa pag-unlad ng economy. But even free markets, kailangan din ng government regulation to form enforceable property rights, consumer protection, enforcement of contracts, and para ma-ensure na rin ang health at kaligtasan ng mga tao to work fairly and efficiently. The next function of government, redistribute income and resources. Governments in economically developed countries are expected to not only make the economic pie grow larger, but to distribute the fruits of prosperity. So sa governments in economically developed countries ay hindi lamang ang paggawa o pagkakaroon ng economic pie grow larger ang expected, but also maidistribute o maibigay kung ano ang nararapat or to distribute the fruits of prosperity, ang kaayusan, kaunlaran o kaginhawaan ng bansa maging ng mga tao. Government tax wealthier citizens at nang transfer income and services to certain categories of individuals who are thought to need them. Thus, all modern governments can be characterized as welfare states. Ang welfare states hindi lamang nagdi-distribute ng pera from wealthier individuals pati sa mga mahihirap, kundi dapat maidistribute ang mga resources mula sa mga bata, matanda, babae man o lalaki, mga disabled or mga PWD, and they socially challenged. Ang wealthier governments ay nagpo-provide ng subsidized housing, mga foods, healthcare para sa mga mahihirap, and as well as providing pensions for the elderly. Next, provide collective public goods. Public goods are resources that governments play a crucial role in providing. So ito ang napakahalagang tungkulin ng governments, to provide goods or a public goods. These are usually services that typically private markets cannot provide, or they can provide but only in a way that is inefficient or unfair. So dito nahihirapan ang mga private markets na mag-provide ng fair or efficient. National security is a good example. Can private markets provide military security? Sure, military security can be outsourced. Wealthy individuals and governments could hire private mercenaries. But history proves that reliance on mercenaries is a risky strategy for protecting populations, because mercenaries may turn on the governments that hired them. They may threaten the very people that are hired to protect. For this reason, effective governments tend to monopolize national security. Once provided everyone shares in its benefits, the same is true of clean air, the postal services, and the interstate highway system. Certain goods are best provided by government through individuals often disagree over what those are. The next function of government is to prevent externalities. Externalities are indirect costs or benefits produced by an activity which impacts society. So, ang externalities ay indirect cost or benefits na gawa ng mga activities na kung saan nagkakaroon ng impact sa society. Naaapektuhan ng externalities ang mga not directed participants or beneficiaries ng activity. Ang externalities ay pwedeng negative at positive ang impact nito. Halimbawa ng negative externalities ay ang mga factories na nagpo-produce ng air pollution na maaaring maamoy o malanghap ng mga taong nasa malapit sa factory na yon. At maaari ring makontaminate ang water supply na malapit sa factory. So yun ang example ng negative externalities. Ang example naman ng positive externalities is the education, when members of society other than students benefit from a more educated population. Dito nagkakaroon ng good benefits kasi nagiging educated ang mga tao. Governments regulate activities that impose harmful or desirable externalities. Ang externalities ay hindi daw laging physical, gaya ng case ng air pollution. Maaari din itong psychological or aesthetic. For example, ang pornographic bookstore na matatagpuan malapit sa church or a liquor store na malapit lang din sa school ay iilan sa mga halimbawa ng externalities na iniiwasan ng city governments through zoning. So that would be the functions of government. Next, we will be discussing what was about the European Union. European Union or EU is an international organization comprising 27 European countries and governing common economic, social, and security policies. Originally confined to Western Europe, the EU undertook robust expansion into Central and Eastern Europe in the early 21st century. Ang European Union ay isang international na organization na binubuo ng 27 European countries at namamahala sa mga common economic, social at security policies. Originally confined sa Western Europe. Ang EU o European Union ay nagsagawa ng robust expansion o pagpapalawak sa Central at Eastern Europe noong early 21st century. So ang mga members ng European Union ay ang mga sumusunod: Austria, Belgium, Bulgaria, Croatia, Cyprus, the Czech Republic, Denmark, Estonia, Finland, France, Germany, Greece, Hungary, Ireland, Italy, Latvia, Lithuania, Luxembourg, Malta, the Netherlands, Poland, Portugal, Romania, Slovakia, Slovenia, Spain, and Sweden. So, yun ang 27 countries na members of the European Union. Ang United Kingdom ay naging founding member din ng European Union, pero umalis din sa organization noong 2020. Kaya 27 European countries lamang ang member ng European Union Organization. Ang EU or European Union ay binuo ng Maastricht Treaty na ipinatupad noong November 1, 1993. The treaty was designed para ma-enhance ang European political and economical integration na bumuo ng single currency or tinatawag na the euro, isang unified foreign and security policy at mga karaniwang karapatan ng mga mamamayan at sa pamamagitan ng advancing cooperation o pagsulong ng cooperation sa mga areas of immigration, asylum, and judicial affairs. Ang EU ay pinarangalan na Nobel Prize for Peace noong 2012 bilang pagkilala sa pagsisikap ng organization na itaguyod ang kapayapaan at demokrasya sa Europe. According sa official website ng European Unions, ang purpose nila are to promote peace, establish a unified economic and monetary system, promote inclusion, and combat discrimination, break down barriers to trade and borders, encourage technological and scientific developments, champion environmental protection, and among others, promote goals like a competitive global market and social progress. So yan ang purpose kung bakit binuo nila ang European Union. Yun lamang po at maraming salamat sa inyong pakikinig. Again, Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuhu.